Alright, hey everybody, and hi Emma. The plan for today is we're gonna finish the boss tier list that we started last night, and then we're gonna play some Tainted Bethany, try to get some completion marks, and hopefully not have any of the technical problems we had last night, because that was really annoying, and really not a very good way to end the stream, but we'll have to see how it goes. Let me switch to my tier list scene here. There we go. Um, Alright, good. I actually had to redo the whole thing. I had to go back and look at the video because after all my problems with Firefox last night, I cleared my cache and cookies and everything, so this was all reset and I had to redo everything, which was fun. Alright, let me just pull this up here. Okay. Alright, so we're back. It's a whole new day. We're going to continue this tier list. First thing though, upon thinking about it some more, there are some things that I want to change around. Like for one thing, the fact that I did not remember. Yeah, the top tier, S tier is hardest and D tier is easiest. So I did not remember that the Headless Horseman could show up on floors other than the basement, because I just feel like I only ever get him on the basement, but he can actually be the boss on other floors, which would make him significantly easier. So I feel like I'm going to bump him down to somewhere like maybe like here. And that's fine. And there are some more that I want to mix around just because I feel like I've rated them too much based on how difficult they are. I don't know, there's some that I feel like I just messed up on. Like the Haunt, I feel like probably for the floor he's on, he should go in B tier. He should go like here. And then Ragman definitely go up to like the top here. Maybe even honestly I'll put Ragman like here. Kinda underrated him last time I could admit that. Well, probably even he's probably like here for me. I'm fine with that. Let's see, let me look through. Is there any others that I want to move around? Hmm. Hornfell, I think I can move up a little bit. Move him up to like here. I think Chad and Chubb I'm gonna move down. Rag Mega is harder than Ragman for you. Honestly, I can understand that. But I don't know. I think they're not that far apart, I feel like. I can move Rag Mega above these guys. Yeah, I think that's a better placement for Rag Mega, closer to the top of C. I'm gonna move Chad and Chubb down like here, because they're honestly pretty easy as long as you have bombs, which you usually do a lot of the time at least. Let me think, are there any others that I want to move around? I think that's pretty good. I think I moved around the guys who I wanted to move around. Colostomia, honestly, I could move to like here. Maybe like here. I don't know if he's quite A level, but we'll see how I feel later. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna put him down to B tier just because I don't want to rate him too highly. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, Ragmega can be annoying for sure. Okay, now we're moving on to our first ranking of the night. The Wretched, I think I accidentally put the Wretched in D tier last night at some point. I don't know how, but I feel like I never fight the Wretched on the actual caves, which is kind of gives me a biased view of her. But just thinking about how her fights go, I would say Wretched. This is like a harder Widow. Not that much harder overall, I would say. I'd put Wretched like I'd put Wretched like here. I'd say like middle of C. Definitely an upgrade in difficulty from the Widow, but not huge. Yeah, Bumbo is definitely one of the harder ones for sure. I don't know where he's gonna be by the end, but he's definitely gonna be on the higher end. Oh, now we have freaking Great Gideon. I hate Great Gideon so much. He's by far my least favorite boss in the game. His design is ugly and not in a good way, and his mechanics are just lame. He's not fun to fight at all. But he is difficult. I always take a couple hits, and yeah, I'd put Great Gideon. He's probably like he's like around Bombino level. Might be higher honestly, but they're pretty. He's like around this top of B level. I think I generally struggle with Great Gideon more honestly, so I'm gonna put him above, but they're very close. The pile. The pile is another tough one. The pile can catch me for sure. He has that really fast attack where he like burrows underground and then he shoots the 3 bones. Pile definitely could be another B tier. Put Pile like here. Probably, yeah, I'd say I probably struggle more with them uh, than with the Fallen. I'm gonna actually move the Fallen. You can fight the Fallen even on later floors, so I'm gonna move the Fallen back to like here. Because if you get the Fallen on like the Womb, it's obviously gonna be way easier than Gertie or Peep is gonna be on Gertie Junior. Peep is gonna be on Caves, right? So Fallen can be like lower B, but still like in the same similar level. Just depends a lot on when you fight him. Scorched or Scorch, whatever this guy's name is. I have not fought him very much. I feel like I fought him probably like 5 times or less. But he can be very annoying. Definitely one of those bosses that you want to have good damage just so you don't have to fight him for very long. I'll put him probably like in a similar level to the pile. I don't know which one gives me more trouble. I'd say the pile probably gives me more trouble, but this guy is definitely similar. Now there's like this other rock worm. This is the one that you break it and then it shoots at you. Um, this one's kind of difficult. Can catch me sometimes. I put the other rock worms at the top of D. This one I would say probably like top of C, high C. I'll say like, I think like here. That's a pretty good place for it. High C. Definitely harder than the other rock worms. but still not that hard. If you're tired, then go to bed. Don't stay up just to watch me rank Isaac bosses. It'll be a VOD. You can go to bed. Oh, now you have the. I think this is the actual Fallen. I've been calling this one the Fallen because I don't remember their name, but they're Fallen Junior. This is the actual Fallen. So we're on the depths bosses. Okay, this guy is definitely A tier, no question. Whether or not he's harder than, well, I'll put him in A tier for now because he's definitely he's a demon for a lot of people. I'll put him here, but these two are very close. I could really have these very interchangeably. I'm not sure which one I think is harder. The freaking Fallen's Brimstone man just catches so often, I swear to God. Okay, now we have the Cage. Cage is not too bad. He has. Okay, bye Emma. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the good luck wishes. Okay, so we have the Cage. The Cage has some annoying attacks. Mostly his ground pound where he can make like the spikes along the ground. Which honestly feels very random a lot of the time. Overall, I'd say the Cage is not too bad. Pretty bulky though. I'll put the Cage very similar position to probably like very similar position to Peep. I'm gonna move actually the Carrion Queen probably behind Peep. I feel like Peep usually gives me more trouble. And then the Cage and Peep I think are in very similar positions. Yeah, I think that's good. Now we have the Gate. The Gate has some very annoying champion versions, I think, just like the Mega Maw does. And the Cage spawns, or the Gate spawns the jumpers who shoot the 4 bullets, which is annoying. So I'd say I'll put the Cage like do I want to have, I think I want to have like low B, but it could be high C. No, probably low B, I think. So they can definitely overwhelm you with those enemies that spawns if you don't have good damage and stuff. I'll put it like here. I think that's a pretty good place for like mid area of B. Loki is pretty freaking easy. A lot of his attacks, or all of his attacks, are very easy to dodge. Like, I don't know. What else is there to say? Loki is just one of like the easiest depths bosses by far. I could put him like, considering how hard some of the other depths bosses are, like for the area, Loki is like, it's like here. It's very easy. Monstro 2. Oof. The big one. Monstro 2 is tough for sure. I think I'll put him like here. Yeah, he's like the ragman of the depths, you know. You're on the base and you're like, oh man, I got a Ragman. And you're in the depths and you're like, oh, I got Monstro too. Pretty pretty similar vibe. They're pretty interchangeable as well. Honestly, like all these five, at least these four, are like pretty interchangeable, and then these three are also pretty interchangeable. Yeah. Then we have War. War is not too bad. His troll bombs can be annoying, and if you don't have good speed when he's chasing you, that can also be challenging. But I'd say he's probably easier than Pestilence most of the time. I'll put him like I'll put him around Hornfell level. I think they're very close. Do I think he's harder or easier than Hornfell? I feel like I haven't fought enough Hornfell enough to really say. Hmm. Yeah, I'll put War above Hornfell. I think he takes it. Then we have Gish. Gish can be annoying mostly because of the enemies he spawns, not really anything he does. His attacks are pretty easy to dodge, just like Monstro, but he has like sticky goo. That's it. Um, the Gishes he spawns though are annoying though because they shoot diagonally. So I'll put Gish like I think I'd put him around here. So he's like a pretty high C. Let me just look at the other bosses in high C. Let me compare them. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I'm happy with that. Brownie is a boss that frustrates me a lot. I feel like must be something wrong with me because I don't hear anybody talking about how annoying Brownie is, but for me, he is such a pain in the freaking butt. Uh, I really don't like Brownie. Um, he's objectively got to be higher than this Dingle because this Dingle is part of him, but I guess it is two chapters deeper than this Dingle would appear, but you know what I mean. Uh, I'm gonna put Brownie like probably low B. Honestly, he definitely can hit me a couple times with some of his attacks. Definitely not easy. So yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good fit. Do I think he's higher than? Yeah, I think he'd be higher than everything in C. Or at least it's very close to the things in high C. Like, yeah, I'm fine putting him here for now. Sister's Viz, honestly, pretty easy a lot of the time. Their brimstone attacks can catch you off guard, and when you kill one, and the other one gets like faster, that can definitely catch you off guard. Overall, not too bad though, especially if you have good damage. Sister's Viz, still like one of the higher difficulty bosses though. I would say probably Mm, yeah, probably pretty similar level to Gertie Jr. But I think they're harder than Carrie and Queen. That's a tough question. Trying to think about all their attacks in my head. I remember things. It's difficult. Yeah, I would put Sister's Visit above Carrie and Queen. They're very close though. Oh, then we have the Bloat. Another very hated boss, very difficult. I gotta put Bloat. I gotta put Bloat in A, honestly. I gotta do it. Do I put him above or below the Fallen? And this guy, I think I gotta put him at top of A for now. He's always so rough to fight. Okay. Mask of Infamy is another tough one. Usually not too bad though. Depends on the arena you get. Uh, dang, this is the last death boss. Okay. It's a toughie for sure. I'll put Mask of Infamy probably above the gate, below these guys though. At least like very close though. Again, a lot of these ones that are close to each other are very interchangeable. It's only when you get like a bigger gap between that it's like, yeah, these are definitely different levels of difficulty. I think I might have Colostomia too high right now. I might have to bump Colostomia down to like, I think I'm gonna bump Colostomia down to like here. Yeah, I think I had him too high before. It can catch you slipping, but it's not like that high, you know. Still annoying though. Oh, now we have the Mausoleum bosses. Jeez. Okay. We're getting there. We have the Siren. The Siren really, like, the only things that I feel like are actually hard to deal with are when she takes your familiars. That can be kind of rough. And a lot of her attacks I feel like aren't that bad. But I also have not fought her very much, I'll admit that. I think Siren. I think Siren is like here, around this area, some of the more middle of B. Pretty challenging, but not too bad a lot of the time. Now we have the Heretic. This one is rough. This is the one that Respawn Boy said it's got to be an A. I think I might have to agree. Yeah, I definitely have to agree. This one gives me a lot of trouble. Put him in A for sure. Then, what is he, top of A? Yeah, I put him at top of A honestly for now. He's tough. Definitely one of the hardest. I don't want to say hardest in the game, 'cause that makes it sound like, oh, he's like a, you know, that seems like it should be reserved for like S tier, but he's up there for sure. The Visage, uh, Visage, I used to think was really hard. Like the first couple of times I fought them, definitely have gotten used to them with time. They don't feel that hard anymore, especially compared to some of the other Repentance bosses. Their only attack that I think is really annoying is the one where they like whip around and like rocks fall from the sky and everything. That's always annoying. Uh, I would say Visage. Visage is like, do I think Visage is harder than Monstro 2? Yeah, I probably would say yes. Harder than Ragman for the, yeah, I'll do this. I think that's a good fit for the Visage there. Then they have the Horny Boys. Honestly, I fought the Horny Boys like twice, so I don't have the most experience fighting them. Um, I don't think they're very difficult though. From my experience with the Horny Boys, okay, actually let me do some quick research because I honestly have fought these two so little that like I don't even trust my opinion or don't even trust my memory really. Yeah, okay, I definitely have not fought these guys enough because I do not remember seeing a lot of their attacks that are listed here. But they're a mausoleum enemy, mausoleum boss, so that automatically is gonna make them pretty tough. I'll put them like here around where Siren is, and then maybe once I fight them some more, I'll have a more solid opinion. But for now, that's a pretty good general placing. Now we got Mom. Mom is always tough. I'd say Mom is always like the point in the run where you can tell if you have a good run going or not. I mean, obviously, you could tell from earlier on, but like sometimes you'll think you have a good run going, and then you'll get to Mom. You'll be like, wow, this run is not nearly as good as I thought it was. Because she's just tends to be a lot harder than the other things you're facing at that point in the game. So I'll put Mom. I'll put Mom like here. Definitely up here with the harder normal floor bosses. Or, up here with the harder non-endgame bosses, I guess I should say. Uh, then this says Mom with a DLC symbol. I don't know exactly what this means, and I'm just gonna say that this is the Mom you fight in the Mausoleum, because I think they should be ranked separately anyway, because they're very different. Mausoleum Mom I'd put above Bloat. Well, I'm gonna put Mom above Bloat anyway, honestly. Who would I rather fight, one Bloat or one Mom? That's tough. I'd probably rather fight one Bloat, so yeah, I'll just do this. And then the Mausoleum Mom is just a somewhat harder version of regular mom. You made a joke and they immediately timed you out for like 1,000 seconds. Yikes. But hey, Respawn Boy, how you doing? We're getting close to being done with this tier list. I did put Heretic in A. Definitely deserves it. We have Mom's Heart here. Mom's Heart honestly has some tricky patterns. I don't fight her that often. I only fight her now when I'm going to the corpse. But definitely tricky. I'll put Mom's Heart at like probably like there. That's a pretty good place for one of the higher B tier. You know, I can get a couple hits on you. Really, that seems like a pretty harmless joke. Kind of weird. Okay, so there goes Mom's Heart. Now I guess we're on to the corpse bosses. This guy. This is a rot gut or whatever it is, I think. Who was the streamer? Rocket EX. Rocket can be tough. I feel like a lot of the time when you get to the corpse, you have very good damage. You don't have to fight Rocket for very long. Not that hard though. Oh, okay, you said Rocket easy. Okay. Yeah, he's not the hardest. You can get a couple hits on you though, so I feel like you should definitely be B tier at lowest. I could put him like I put Rocket like there. Rather not see the stream because I don't want him to get harassed. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to start any drama with anybody, but sometimes I just get curious. Streams of DBFZ. I don't really know any DBFZ streamers, so I probably wouldn't know them. But yeah, good call. We're not gonna trash talk anybody here. Not about that. Okay, Rocket. I think that's a pretty good placing for him. Then we have the Chimera. My only experience with the Chimera, I think I fought him like 2 or 3 times. One of those times he crashed my game, and it was very scary because I didn't know if I was gonna lose my run data or not. Oh, he soft locked me. Yeah, he has the soft lock where if you kill him at a certain point, then it just soft locks and you have to restart your game. I remember that now. Yeah, so this guy's kind of weird. I'd say he's not very hard though. Yeah, Chimera can be cheap. Yeah, I definitely agree. I'll put him probably like one step above Mask of Infamy, around the Clostomia and that level. Just pretty annoying to fight. And we have this guy. I don't even remember their name. Respawn Boy probably remember better than I do, but this guy definitely hits me like all the time. Anytime I am in the corpse, I'm hoping that I have good enough damage to just kill this guy before he can even attack because I suck at dodging any of his attacks. He's definitely gonna be an A. He's tough for me at least. I don't know if anybody else struggles with him as much as I do, but yeah, that guy's a solid A. We have Mom herself. We're gonna hold off on Mother. We have Blast Assist. I don't remember. I think Blast Assist is only in. Okay, now we have like the Womb bosses. That's kind of weird. Okay, now we're on to the Womb bosses. Blast Assist. It's very easy for the point that you fight him at. Uh, is that even easier than Loki for the point that you fight him at? Probably. Yeah, I'll put Blast Assist like here. It's a very similar level to Loki. We have Daddy Long Legs. Daddy Long Legs can be annoying. Pretty predictable attacks. You just gotta keep moving, but it can still catch you here and there. I'll put Daddy Long Legs. Probably like high B. Like here. You know, one of the higher B tier bosses. Loki with two eyes. Double Loki is harder than regular Loki, I can say that. Not by a lot, because they're still very simple attacks. Uh, Still a pretty easy boss, especially for the womb. Not too bad. I would put the two Lokis. No, not quite D tier, I don't think, but they're like here. Still one of the easier ones. You think that last course boss is the Scourge? That sounds right. I think you're right about that. And now we have Mr. Fred. Mr. Fred's pretty easy, though his bullets can go pretty fast and catch you off guard. And it can be hard to find like an angle to attack him because he shoots in all four directions, and then there's the blood on the ground that hurts you. Mr. Fred, I would put like another high C probably. Fred has the largest boss arena in the game. That sounds, yeah, I believe that he has a very big arena. He's a big guy, you know. He needs the space. Do I think that's a good placing for him? I think so. He's not that hard, but he's on the more challenging end of like the easier bosses. You know, he's encroaching on the B tier, but not quite there. Then we have Mama Gertie. Mama Gertie can be tough only because that spike attack can like always catch you if you don't have flight or like spike immunity. Like maybe I'm just stupid, but I do not know a reliable way to dodge that. So Mama Gertie can always catch you. I'll put Mama Gertie. Another one of those just like annoying bosses a lot of the time. I put her like here. Maybe more like here. These are all pretty similar though, I think. We have Skolex. Scolex is not very hard. You just kind of have to be more patient. Usually Scolex is pretty easy though. Put Scolex. Honestly, for the womb, Scolex is pretty dang easy. I could put Scolex like. Yeah, another one that's annoying for sure. Yeah, let's put him like top of D. He's pretty easy, just tedious to fight because you have to wait for his one damage spot to be vulnerable. We have Teratoma. Teratoma is pretty easy. Honestly, not even that much harder than Fistula, really. It's just that spiders are more annoying to deal with. I'll put Teratoma like probably like here. Just because a lot of the time you're gonna have good damage and you're gonna just break it apart more than you want to, then you're gonna have a spider flying into your face. Definitely happens occasionally, so yeah, I'll give it a little bit of a higher spot than Fistula, but not by far. Then we have Death. Death can be annoying. It slows you down, and he has those spikes that actually the sights that actually move pretty fast. I would say Death is like the hardest so far of the horsemen. Put Death like I'll put Death like here. So I could definitely get hit by Death a couple times, depending on how my run's going. And then we have Triachnid, which is pretty much just Daddy Long Legs. I don't know of any significant difference. So I'm just going to put them like right next to each other. I think that's pretty fair. Conquest. Conquest is not too hard, probably around Death's level, I think. It has like Holy Light Beams, which could hit you, I guess, and then it has the attack where all the horses are coming at you, which could be hard to avoid. It's kind of scary. I think Death and Conquest are very similar level. I'll put them right next to each other. I think Death is maybe just a little harder, but yeah, they're pretty similar. And we have the freaking Matriarch. The Matriarch is such a weird boss. It's so weird, but definitely I could see it hit you a couple times because it just spawns so many things and they just fly all over the place. So you can definitely take a couple hits to the Matriarch. It's a pretty annoying boss, pretty tough. So put him around this level of like bosses who can give you some trouble annoyingly. Like, yeah, sure, I'm fine with this. Well, I think Colostomy might be. Whoever you want to put first between Colostomia and Matriarch, I think they're pretty similar levels for their respective areas. Alright, let me take a quick drink of water because it's already been 50 minutes. Oh my god. Alright, give me 1 minute. Alright. Who is next? Oh, It Lives. Okay. It Lives, I feel like I've fought so many times that I can't really see it as being all that difficult anymore. But I could acknowledge that there are things about it that are difficult, especially if you're not as used to fighting it as a lot of players are. Because, I mean, by the time, like, especially like if you're at like the point where I'm at, where you have like 500 something achievements, you're gonna have fought It Lives like 400 times plus, probably. So, like, you really get a lot of experience with It Lives. But thinking about it, like, taking into account people who haven't fought it a million times, uh, just thinking about it like objectively, definitely one of the more challenging bosses. I probably above Mom's Heart. I think it's above these three. Probably not. I would put it at a very similar level to Mom's Heart, just like slightly harder, in my opinion. Okay, now we're getting into the big guys. So before we get into the end game enemies, end game bosses, that is, let's just do all these mini bosses we have down here. I feel like that's, yeah. Let's save the best for last, right? So we have Krampus, everybody's best friend, Krampus. Very similar to the Fallen, very similar patterns, except for the fact that the Fallen breaks into two. So I'm just gonna put Krampus as like slightly easier Fallen, right? I mean, that's fair. I don't know if the Fallen has the spinny attack that Krampus does, but I'd still say the Fallen is slightly harder, so yeah, they're very close. We have Gabriel and Nathaniel. That's definitely not his name, but I don't know. I don't know which angel is which or what their names are. I think the white one is Gabriel. White and blue one. Uh, this one is pretty easy. All of his attacks are pretty simple to dodge, especially his lasers. You just have to stay out of his, stay away from being below him, and you're pretty much fine. Uh, he would be like, I'd say he's like mid C. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I do that way too often. I would put him. Ah, crap. What did I just do? Oh, okay. Uh, I'm trying to think, like, do I think he's harder than Famine? I think he's easier than the Headless Horseman most of the time. But Famine, I could put him above Famine before Headless Horseman. He's just in that little gap there. And then we have Nathaniel. This guy is significantly harder. It's a pretty small gap between where his two beams should go. You kind of have to find the right spacing on that. So I'll put this guy. This guy would probably be in like the lower B, maybe high C. Honestly, now that I think about it, let's see here. Yeah, I'd put him like high C tier. Put him like there. Seems like a good fit. Ultra Greed, Delirium, Hush, Beast are all S tier. Yeah, those guys are all probably gonna end up in S tier. I would say they're all like the hardest bosses. Okay, that's the Angels done. We have Envy. Envy's pretty easy. You just have to be patient. I'll put Envy. Pretty similar situation to Fistula. I'll put it like there. Very similar. We have Gluttony. Gluttony's Brimstone can catch you off guard, and it does like the shots in the different directions. That can be annoying. Still not bad though. I'd put Gluttony. I'd put Gluttony probably like here. Similar to Loki level. I guess I'm kind of assuming this is like you're fighting him on the basement one. So like if you fight any of the basic sins like late into a run, they're all gonna be super easy. But yeah, I guess for these ones I am kind of saying earlier game, but they're all gonna be lower difficulty anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Wrath is also pretty easy. Yeah, I mean when I think about it, like all these basic sins are all pretty easy, no matter when you have to fight them. So like, it's fine. The ranking would not change that much no matter what I factor in. Wrath would be Wrath is probably it can depend on the area you get. You can get some really crappy arenas with Wrath. So put him I'll put him on like the same level as Gluttony. They're pretty similar. Now we have Pride. Pride can be annoying. He has like the diagonal beams. And he has troll bombs. Does a couple of things. I'll put him I'll put Pride like there. A little bit above the other sins so far, but not a huge degree. Wrath. Wrath can screw you over if you have bad speed. It's a very annoying situation to be in. But overall, Wrath is usually pretty easy. So I'll put Wrath. And this little cluster here of these three sins are all similar level of difficulty, I'd say. Just in like certain situations, they could catch you off guard, but not that bad. Hey Antrace, how you doing? Welcome to this tier list stream. We're almost done at this point. We got a lot already put down. Now we're doing Greed. Greed is probably the hardest of the basic. Yeah, he's definitely the hardest of the basic sins. His shot patterns can be difficult, and he spawns greed heads, right? Or is that just super greed? I can't remember. But either way, still definitely the hardest of the basic ones. I would even put him. I'll put him like up here. Yeah, like there. It's a pretty good place for him. I'm doing pretty good. So far, we have not had any technical problems, which has already made this stream better than last night. I'm feeling good. Yes, I do have the link for this list. I will put that in chat right now. Boom, right there. That should take you right to it, I think. Okay, Sloth. Sloth is not too bad. He does spawn. He spawns the other guys who can shoot out the Epicac shots, right? And he can shoot out Epicac. No, wait, he just spawns the little chubs. So that's still annoying. I'll put Sloth probably the second hardest of the basic sins. I put him right there. You're gonna do your own ranking entries, your own tier list. Jeez, we're getting pretty close to the end now. Not too much left. So we have Super Envy. Super Envy is another, pretty much just like the same situation as Envy. You really just have to be patient, but if you blow up them all too fast, then you can definitely get hit a couple times. Say you have so much going on in the room. Especially if there's multiple Super Envies, then it's really annoying, but overall I'd say Super Envy is not too bad and one of the easier ones of the Super Sins. So put Super Envy, put Teratoma like there. I'll put Super Envy on like a similar level to Teratoma. Pretty close. Alright, you want to compare lists? Yeah, that's cool. I'm getting pretty close to done, surprisingly. Don't got much left to go. You're probably going to go faster than me, though, because you're not going to be talking to yourself the whole time. Super Gluttony. Honestly, not that much more difficult than regular Gluttony. Not a huge step up, at least compared to some of the other sins, I feel like. Does shoot out more bullets, though. I feel fine moving it up. I think it's... You can fight them like anywhere, right? So just think about that. Yeah, I feel fine moving them up to C. Probably a little bit harder than regular Keeper, maybe. This is a hard one to rank. Super Gluttony is not that hard, but like I have a hard time putting it below, or putting it below some of these other easier bosses. I don't know. I'll put it like a similar position to Rainmaker, because Rainmaker has some similar attacks. I think both do like I think like an 8-direction shot, and then yeah, I think that's fine. Pretty happy with that. even though I could put it below Dingle, but either way, it's not a huge deal. Pretty close either way. Then we have Super Wrath. I must have called Lost Wrath before. Yeah, that's Lost right there. Regular Lust next to regular Wrath. We have Super Wrath, which can be annoying because of the troll bombs, especially if you're in a small space, small room. You have a very good chance of getting hit a lot of the time. He spawns 2 super troll bombs, right? Which is very annoying. I think he's resistant to explosive damage, so he can be a pain. I think he's definitely harder than Super Gluttony. I'll put him. Yeah, I think he's pretty high C tier, really. Because troll bombs are just so annoying. The super troll bombs, like, I'll put him like here because Rag Mega kind of has similar. He has the homing big balls, so like they both have annoying homing attacks. I think that's fair. We have Super Lust. Super Lust, very similar to regular Lust. Very similar. Actually, having a hard time even thinking about what's different. Does Super Lust just make creep? Is that like the main difference? I'm trying to remember. I think maybe. I don't know. Oh no, this is Super Pride. I'm crazy. Super Lust is the next one up. Okay. Super Pride is definitely annoying. Also shoots the annoying diagonal beams, spawns troll bombs, all that stuff. Just a more annoying version of regular Pride. So I would say another higher C level. I'll say like there. Pretty close to Super Wrath. They're kind of interchangeable, but I'd say Super Wrath is probably more likely to hit you as long as you're, you know, if you have a similar experience with both, I'd say Super Wrath is still more likely to hit you. Then we have Super Lust. I think Super Lust is pretty easy. Again, it's just like if you don't have good enough speed, it can catch you for sure though. In that case, it's a lot harder. It is still harder than regular Lust though. I'll put. Let me actually do a quick search and just double check what Super Lust does because I just want to make sure I don't forget something and rank it lower than it could be. Okay, it chases you around, giving red creep and does a wholehearted damage. Okay. So yeah, it's just basically like regular Lust but faster and least creep and it does wholehearted damage. So there's another one that's hard to rank. It's kind of like Super Gluttony, where like it's not a big difficulty increase, so it's still not that hard. But still, like you feel like you should put it higher. Screw it. I'm just gonna put it. I think it's a similar level to Super Gluttony, so I'll just put them next to each other. I think that's fine. Super Keeper or Super Greed. My bad. super greed is always annoying because you're like, oh, I really just need something good from this shop, and then you go to your shop and it's freaking super greed. So nobody wants to fight super greed really, except for that chance at a Steam sale. But harder than regular greed, right? So like it's definitely got to be at least mid to high C. Uh, spawns greed heads. I could put it. I feel fine putting it like here. Thinking about like, do I think I get hit by super greed more? Or do I get hit by the fallen more? I'd say super greed probably hits me more. So yeah, I'm fine with that placing. Maybe even like this, honestly. But these all down here are all, I'd say, very close for me in terms of difficulty. Okay, last of the super sins, we have super sloth. Let me double check what super sloth does, just make sure I don't forget anything, because it's another one that's not the biggest changes from the base one. Okay, he fires out 2 ipecac shots, or he fires out 2 spiders. He does a whole heart of contact damage. Okay. So it's just like super sloth, but like double. Just double everything. Or like regular sloth, but double everything. I don't know if I said that wrong or not. I think that would put him like mid to low C. Where is Pestilence? I put him like a similar level to Pestilence. I think I'm gonna put him probably around Hornfell. I think is good. Maybe I think he's higher than War. That's a tough one. Thinking about this too much. Let me just think. Who hits me more, Super Sloth or War? It's always like the hardest comparisons between these ones who you're fighting on like a fixed floor versus ones you could fight on like any floor, because it's very hard to make comparisons like that. Uh, yeah, I'll put him between War and Hornfell. Not too bad, but still like mid C is a solid ranking. Ultra Pride. Ultra Pride is a weird one. I don't think he's very hard, or I don't think they're very hard, I should say. But they could get a hit or two in on you. Yeah, the creep, they have some homing shots, so I'm feeling like a mid to maybe low C for them. Let's see here. I think this is a pretty good spot for them. Between Gabriel and the Headless Horseman, I think that's good. Okay, now is this all... Yeah, this is all endgame bosses left now. Okay, now we're in the big leagues. So, first things first, let's get the Cathedral and Sheol guys out of the way. So we have Satan. Satan is a toughie. Has some annoying stuff. He's 3 phases. It's a pretty long fight a lot of the time. The first phase is literally just the Fallen, so he's got to go. He's got to be harder than the Fallen, right? For sure. Not that there's really any question about that, but yeah. I think he's gonna go A. I think he's gonna be... I think he's gonna be... Do I think he's harder than Mom? He's a couple floors later, which makes it kind of hard to compare. He'd be 3 floors later, right? So... Yeah, I'd say he's probably harder than both the Moms. Right, I'd say he's harder than the Heretic. Where I say the Heretic is even harder than Mom. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm gonna move the Heretic down there. I'm gonna have Satan above the Moms. I think that's fair. But Satan is very close with Mom, I think. They're pretty similar bosses, honestly. At least in certain aspects they definitely have similarities, so they're pretty interchangeable. I could definitely see you or anybody putting Mom above Satan. I'd understand that. You have Isaac. Isaac has gone through some changes over time. Still say he's not too difficult, but he does have some difficult patterns, some difficult attacks, especially if you're not that used to fighting him. You haven't fought him that much. I would put him... I feel like for the time you fight him at, like, I might put him in B, honestly. No, I'll put him at the bottom of A for now. Yeah, I will. But he's definitely not that hard for the... I mean, he's challenging for the time you fight him in. I could put him in B just for now. I'm going to leave him at bottom of A and we'll see how we feel later. So who is next? We'll do the Lamb. The Lamb can be tough. Has 2 phases. Has its first phase, and then when you get it down to low enough HP, it splits into its 2 different body segments, and they both have their own attacks. And they can overwhelm you with a lot of different bullets and stuff. You got lasers and all that. So I don't know if it's actually harder than Satan, because I don't know, I said that's so weird. I always say Satan weird. I don't know if it's harder than Satan because you do get some items along the way through the dark room. So you might be a little bit stronger. I'd say they're pretty similar. I think I would say Limb is slightly harder. You just have so many like bullets and stuff going on during the fight, especially if you're not killing the two body parts quickly. Like you're gonna have a lot of attacks to deal with, and it can be pretty stressful. We have Blue Baby. Uh, why is there an alarm going off? Um, okay, Blue Baby. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry, I'm back. Where were we? We're doing Blue Baby. Okay. I think Blue Baby might be easier than Isaac, honestly, considering the items that you get throughout the chest. So considering like the point that you fight them at, I could definitely see Blue Baby being easier. I'll just put them there for now. They're pretty interchangeable, and I could see myself moving them both down to B tier, but yeah, for now, that's where they're going. So I think I'll do Ultra Greed. Ultra Greed is such a pain in the freaking balls to fight. He has so many attacks. He does so many things. He has the freaking boss armor. It can take forever to kill him if you don't have good damage. He can heal himself. He can spawn a giant wave of enemies to just overwhelm you. He can spawn bomb coins. And yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to deal with. Honestly, that's all there is to it. Definitely eligible being our first S tier. Now we have Ultra Greedier, who is not as hard. I'd say she'll probably go to an S because he can do a lot of damage with his explosive attacks, and he's still decently tanky. I might move him down to A rank later, but for now, I'm fine just putting him in S behind Ultra Greed. We'll see how we feel after we do all the other endgame guys. Okay, so let's do Mega Satan. Let's kind of go in order of. I don't know. We're not really going in order of release, but just in order of like intimidation factor, I guess. Mega Satan is, I would say, harder than Ultra Greedier. Probably not as hard as Ultra Greed. Right? Like I would say, I'm fine saying that. But I could see you putting Mega Satan higher just because he does so many things and he's such a longer boss fight. But I think Ultra Greed has a higher chance of really roughing me up, honestly. Mega Satan, while he does do a lot of stuff, a lot of it's not that hard to deal with compared to Mr. Ultra Greed. Okay, before we get into these last final like 10 guys here, I'm going to take a quick water break, so just give me 1 minute for that. Okay, I'm back. Who are we gonna do next? I guess yeah, Hush is a good choice to do next. Okay. So Hush is another tough one. Definitely is usually a pretty long fight, has the boss armor, takes a while to kill. I say Hush is probably the hardest one we've gotten so far. Hush has the really hard continuum shots. Hush has the beams that come down and chase you and really just totally overwhelm you if you don't have good enough speed. Hush is so tanky. You just like it really is a boss that just wears you down mentally as you fight it because it just takes so long and you have so many different attacks to worry about. So yeah, I'd say probably harder than Ultra Greed. Uh, Next we'll do. I'll save Delirium and Mother for last. I think those two are the hardest. So we'll do all these other ones before that. So we'll do Dogma first. I think the difficulty of Dogma is kind of overblown. He's challenging. I think he's fun. Definitely difficult, but not as difficult as some people I think have made him out to be. Uh, Still definitely an A tier. I would probably put him. Hmm. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Fallen a little bit lower. I'm just gonna move Isaac and Blue Baby up a bit, and then yeah, I think I'm fine having Dogma just above like Isaac and Blue Baby. I think that's a good place for him. Well, yeah, no, I think that's fine. I'm good with that. Am I good with that? I think I'm good with that. Cause like you're already like gone through so much by the time you get to Dogma. Like you'll usually have a pretty good run going. It's usually not that insanely hard for the point that you fight him at. He's just kind of a warm up for what's to come. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good place for him. Uh, Ultra Famine, at least that's what I'm gonna call him, or Super Famine, I guess. Super Famine. He. Let's see here. Give me 1 minute again. Alright, sorry about that. So, where did I... there's Super Famine, okay. Super Famine makes a lot of bullets, can be annoying. Tests your dodging ability to be sure. I put him... I put him around this Mom's Heart level. They both do a lot of bullets. They both really push your dodging abilities, so yeah, they're pretty... I think they're a similar area there. Excuse me. We have Super Pestilence. I really like... Super Pestilence might be actually the hardest of these 4 Super Horsemen here. He has his Ipecac shots, the giant ones that take up a lot of space on the screen with like poison gas that hurts you. You can like spew shots that just rain down. He can send flies after you, and then you can like shoot out a larva that like goes across the screen like 5 times and boomerangs back like another 5 times, and it's super fast. You have to just kind of predict where it's going to be coming from, or remember like where it's going to be coming from based on how it moves. So this guy changes a lot depending on how much damage you have. That's kind of how it goes with a lot of these things in the Beast ending, because I mean, I'll get into this more with the Beast himself, but you can just skip a lot of the hard stuff with, you know, brute forcing it with big damage, really. But this guy is super rough. If you don't have good damage, definitely gonna struggle with all these horsemen. But I'll put this guy... I think I want to put him in A. I think I want to put him in A. Do I think he's harder than the Fallen to the point that you're gonna fight him at? I think they're similar. I'll leave him below the Fallen, but they're similar, right? They're close. We have Super War. Super War, I would say, is probably the easiest of these 4 horsemen of the Beast fight, but it could depend a little bit on your build, like your speed and stuff. He could outspeed you, though. If you don't have good speed, then you're really gonna have a hard time with all these guys and the Beast, so, you know, doesn't make a big difference. I'm gonna put him... I'll put him... He does have the bombs, which are annoying, because it's such a big area, and then shoots in like 8 directions. So he does have some things that are difficult about him. So I'll put him... right above Death. I think that's a good fit. He's like middle to towards the higher end of the B rank, B tier. That's, yeah. And then Death, Super Death. This guy, his scythe attack is scary until you realize that you can just kind of go straight up, do like the top left, and dodge it pretty consistently. He does have some annoying attacks if you're not killing him fast enough, like he can make it like dark and then slash at you, and usually that's going to cut you off guard because you really only see it if you or not doing very good damage. Otherwise, you'll kill him when he's doing all the skulls, which is also another attack that can be hard to dodge. So this guy, I would say he's at a similar level to Super Famine. I'll just put them right next to each other. I think they're close enough for that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we have the Beast herself. Honestly, not that hard. Especially considering it's supposed to be like the final boss of the whole game, like the true ending or whatever. I forget what it's called, but it's meant to be like the final boss. It's really not that hard, but it's kind of just like the whole Dogma and the Horseman and then Beast combined that makes it overall challenging. The Beast herself is not that hard. That being said, if you don't have good damage, you don't have good speed, you don't have a lot of health, any one of those three can make this fight very stressful. And having multiple of those three make this fight very, very hard. Especially not having much damage, you're going to end up dealing with a lot more attacks from this guy, a lot more different attacks than you would have to otherwise. Like the attack where she shoots up the lava balls from the ground. You have to do a whole bunch of running away through like the falling rocks and everything, which is a lot harder to do than the normal running away sequence. You're gonna see attacks that you have never even seen before if you fight this boss for long enough, because this boss is really dependent on just killing her fast to make sure you only have to deal with like a lot of the easier attacks, right? But usually when you get to her, you will have pretty good damage to not have to face a lot of those attacks, and you will have decent speed and you will have decent HP a lot of the time, right? That's not always, and especially with some characters, you're gonna struggle more than others. But in general, I would say she's not super hard for the level that she's at, that is. But still one of the hard bosses in the game. I would still put her. I think it's pretty fitting to put her at like the mom, right? The mom level, and also around like Satan, you know. I think that's pretty fair. Do I want to put the beast at the top of A? I think I could, just for all the different attacks that you have to face if you don't have good speed or good damage, and like just how long the fight can be if you don't have good damage. It can be so long. So yeah, I'll put her at the top of A. I think that's fair. Now we have the last two. Let's put this Duke of Flies in D, just because let's make things look satisfying. Get that guy out of there. Okay, so we have the last two, Mother and Delirium. I think these are undoubtedly the hardest two bosses in the game. You can disagree with me, but for me, these are definitely the hardest two. So first, we're gonna do Mother. Mother added in Repentance is very difficult. Very difficult. Has a lot of bullet hell attacks, has a lot of fast attacks, a lot of very, different tempo attacks. Are you done? Alright, I'm just about to be done. Two answers. We can can discuss. Uh, so yeah, Mother has a lot of attacks, has 2 phases, doesn't have a ton of health, but does have a lot of things that are hard to dodge, and just overall very difficult, very much a test of your dodging ability and just, your overall skills in the game, right? And then we have Delirium, who, he says you can have all the skills and all the luck that you want, but I'm going to telefrag you and bully you, and I do what I want. And that's how Delirium is. And he's got to be the hardest boss in the game. I cannot really argue that. I think there's a sizable, notable gap between him and Mother, just because of how jank Delirium is. Hopefully, sometime Delirium is gonna get patched, and him and Mother are gonna be a little bit closer. I would like that, but for now, Delirium I think is definitely gotta be the hardest, just because of how unfair he can be, how much annoying stuff he has. He can turn into any boss really. He can turn into Hush. Well, I don't know if he can do that in game, but there is like code and assets for him to be able to do that. You can turn into Blue Baby, Isaac, most other bosses in the game. He has so much HP. He has boss armor when he's not in his normal form, which is the large majority of the time. He can spawn different enemies when he's other bosses. He can have explosive shots. He just covers the screen in bullets. He goes super fast. The lower down on HP he gets can just go like light speed sometimes. And obviously the telefragging again can just totally screw you over, especially with those harder characters or on runs where you don't have as much HP. So yeah, he's got to be the hardest boss in the game. I don't make the rules, but you all knew this was going to be the case from the beginning, right? I don't think anybody would really argue it that much. But yeah, I think this is going to be my final list. Let me just take one last look at it. Do a quick scan. I don't think I'm going to change anything, but if there's anything that's like glaringly bad about it. And trades, you can look it over and let me know what you think. Let me know what you had different. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. With this. I think this is a good representation of how difficult I think these bosses are. So I think we're good. Yeah. Alright, cool. That was a good way to spend like almost 3 hours. We agree on Mother and Delirium. That's good. From the way you're saying that, though, I'm assuming that we disagree on a lot of other things. Though these are all very subjective. Like it's just like your own experiences with these bosses. Some that you fought more than others. Like there are probably a lot of bosses that I'm just biased throughout because I fought them more or had certain experiences with. Oh, okay, just haven't looked at the list that much. All right, that's understandable. Is it cool if I start switching over to playing Isaac and you can pull up the VOD if you want to keep looking at my tier list? Because I'm gonna be playing some Tainted Bethany tonight, I think. Alright, let me close this then, switch to this screen, and I will be back in just like a minute with some Isaac playing Tinted Bethany, so just give me 1 minute.